I'm back in Sony World. Honestly, I'd love to rewatch Wonka or rewatch Godzilla -1 because those are the 2 movies of the year, probably. At least for me, anyway. 2 of my favorites. They're both at least in the top 5. Anyway, I'm back in Sony World for Aquaman 2. And even though reviews split me, I said it's always about negatively reviewed films, but this one has a lot of bad press from fans, from critics, from YouTubers. Basically, everyone's criticizing it. Everyone's saying it's bad. So that's saying a lot. Like, when it's universally not rated as a film, I'm very worried because I loved the first one. The first Aquaman was so good. The 2018 movie, great story, great characters, great villains, great visuals. It looked amazing, and I expected it to look great. I expect the visuals to be good, but I heard a lot of it story-wise and character-wise just not good enough. And I'm worried because the first one was so good. So how can the second one be that much worse? You have to keep doing what you're doing. And I guess Amber Heard kind of brings it down as well. They probably cut her out a bit, but regardless, apparently it's really awful. I always go in positive, not positive, but like I always go in neutral. I always go in wanting to enjoy it. That's not neutral, but the point is, I go in how you're supposed to go in. Like, you're supposed to want to enjoy it. Aside from a few documentary type movies, I want to enjoy this. I hope it's good. So let's go and see it. Trusting the visuals to be good, so I'm watching an IMAX. Is it going to be worth it? I don't know. Pay £18 a month to watch unlimited movies, but if I want to see an IMAX to 4DX, I got to pay like $4.70 uplift per film. Still a good deal compared to the IMAX full price. Will I regret paying £4.70? I'll find out in a second. Well, in a couple hours.
Picky new price. The new one will make you my back market.
It's far too windy. I should get home first. They had IMAX posters of Aquaman. I didn't get one. I couldn't be asked. Maybe I should have got one. Very late to the party. We're working on it. It literally just went up today. Just needs the decorations and the lights. So the top is way too wonky. The star's meant to be up there. That's better. Anyway, yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was alright. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. I think the first half was stronger than the second half of the film. I think the second half, there was a lot of pacing issues. I feel like it was all over the place. A bit convoluted, a bit messy. The first half of it was fine. I think it was going okay. I liked the premise of it. Who this secret there's a secret villain, I guess. You find out who he is straight away in the film, but like, you know, he's not in the, I don't think he's in the trailers anyway, but there's someone else that's not Black Manta. I thought the ideology behind him was interesting. It reminded me a bit of Lord of the Rings, actually. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings underwater. I mentioned visuals because that's the main reason I watched this in IMAX. I could have watched the normal version. I watched it in IMAX because I know that they got, like, James Wan has got the track record from the first Aquaman movie, which was so good looking. It was amazing. The camera angles as well. It was one of the most beautiful super movies I've ever seen. Like, it was so good looking. I'm just like, no wonder it made $1 billion at the box office, because that was just, you know, it was amazing. Plus the story was good as well, but it just looked so good. So I kind of thought, hey, the second one looked good as well. And it did mostly. About 90% of it looked beautiful. Not as good as the first one, but still looked beautiful, looked good. There were a few scenes, though, that looked a bit weird. I don't know if it was bad CGI or the camera work, but there were some scenes that were just like, is that real? I mean, none of it's real, really. But still, like, it's supposed to look good enough to the point where you have an escape. It takes you out of it. Like, not takes you out of it, sorry, but like, you're immersed into the movie, right? There are some scenes where I'm just like, they need to work on that. They need to work on that CGI a little bit. But that was only a few scenes here and there, about 10% of the movie. Most of it looked fine. But yeah, story-wise, as I said, first half was fine. Second half, very clunky, all over the place. Pacing was the main issue, I think. But I liked what they did with Orm, what they did with Black Manta, and this other villain. And with Amber Heard, she was in it. She had some significant parts in the film. She was definitely cut out of quite a few bits, for sure, but she wasn't cut out of everything. She was still there for a significant amount of time, but she probably had less time than she would have had. but she was still part of the main plot points. Yeah, I guess they filmed most of it before they could do anything, but yeah, it's still a little... I mean, they never fight Ezra Miller, so I'm not sure we should be surprised. But yeah, like, she played her role, her character. I liked the character from the first film. It's just that knowing that, you know, what happened since then in real life, it's just like, you can't look at her the same even as a character. They could have recast her, but then again, this universe is all over now. I think this is the last movie of the DCEU, which has basically been cancelled, and they're doing this new DCU universe. 2 universes actually, because the Batman universe is a separate universe, and then you got the James Gunn though. But this current timeline is ending with I can't even speak, with Aquaman. DCEU is over. What a whole mess of a universe it turned out to be. But I really hope they let Snyder finish his Snyder Cut, because part 1 was very good. That was 4 hours of magic. That was one of the best DC films ever made. But they probably won't do it. The only chance is Netflix. I don't think it will happen. But yeah, that's what DC could have been. But it is what it is. You know, I'm more than happy for them to start in the universe, as long as they make it good. You know, I want to see this, because there's so many storylines in the comics from DC and from Marvel that we haven't seen yet. And there are so many great storylines. You know, we've seen one that was pulled off really well. The Infinity Saga wasn't completely accurate to the comics, but it was good from Marvel. They did really well. There's plenty more huge stories from DC as well that we could see on the big screen. So I hope that James Gunn's universe is successful, at least, so we can get some of those storylines. But yeah, I've gone off topic completely now. But yeah, Aquaman, look, I don't think it was that bad. Most of it, I think I looked up a lot of reviews, not on purpose. Every time I watch a new movie, a big movie, not every movie, but big name movies, not just blockbusters, but like significant names like Scorsese movie, or, you know, is anything that's, you know, gonna be big in headlines. I always check reviews just to see what people think. I don't let it sway me. I just like to see, okay, what do they think? What do they think? This one, everything I saw was negative, whether it was written or video, apart from one that was positive. I was just like, ooh, I've never seen it this bad. But I went in, and I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was great, by no means, but I didn't think it was bad. But yeah, the visual was mostly fine, not as good as the first one, mostly good. Some of it was weird. Story-wise, again, first half of the movie I think was fine, second half not so much. But it certainly could have been worse, and it definitely could have been a lot better. It's kind of sad that it's ending here. There's an after credits scene, not after credits, but there's a mid credits scene. It's not worth staying for, if I'm being honest. I don't know if anyone would even laugh at it. It is a comedy scene, but comedy scenes sometimes can be great. That one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's worth sitting down even for 30 seconds just to see that. Was it worth seeing in IMAX? Yeah, probably. You know, it looked good, it sounded good, and it was filmed for IMAX. I just wish the story was a bit better, but I don't think it was that bad. It was mainly the second half of the movie, from the middle to the end, where it started to get a little downhill. But yeah, I liked what they did, and there were some interesting plot points and a few surprises here and there. And I guess whatever happens in that universe in the future is all up to our imaginations. Because I guess we'll never know. The only even that continuation is a little off from Snyderverse. So like there's like multiple continuations, and that's it. And everything else is up to imagination. I don't think this is getting revived, not this timeline. The only possibility is the Snyder Cut Part 2, but even that's extremely unlikely. So we'll take what we get, and let's hope that the next Superman and Batman movies are good, and hopefully DC can get started again soon. And for flip's sake, do Green Lantern, please. I've been waiting years for Green Lantern. He's one of my favorite heroes. I mean, specifically, there's not a specific person. There's Hal Jordan, I love him. John Stewart, Guy Gardner, What's the other guy's name? I forgot the other guy's name. But yeah, there was 4 people. I would love to see Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. I'd love to see those two. I know it's been announced there's a buddy cop sort of TV series. I hope it's good, because I've been waiting a long time for Green Lantern to be done correctly, because there's so much possibility with the Lantern storylines, especially the Blue Lanterns and the Red Lantern. There's so many storylines there. White and black. It's just like brightest day, darkest night. There's so many storylines in that. I want to see Green Lantern on the big screen, and I hope they do it, and hope they do it right. That's what I'm really counting on. And obviously Batman movies. But yeah, I'll give Aquaman 2 a 6.5 out of 10. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I didn't have a bad time, but not a great time. You know, it's the second half though is what lets it down for me. There was comedy, but there was comedy in the first one. It's just like it's the tone that Aquaman has. Some of it just wasn't funny, but yeah, I'll give it a 6.5. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.